This is the story of a prison carved from granite on the wild moors of Cornwall, a place of cold stone, harsher justice, and whispered fears where murderers, thieves, and the condemned took their final breath, and where, long after its last execution, the dead may still walk among the living. This is Bodmin Gaol, a fortress of shadows where history refuses to rest. The year is 1779, and England's King George II signs the decree. Work is to start on a new prison in the town of Bodmin. It will be built from the very stones taken from the moors nearby, a harsh landscape as unforgiving as the punishment the prison will mete out. Prisoners of war are brought in to quarry the granite, hauling huge blocks out of the earth under the lash and the musket ball. Soon, 4 thick walls rise up from the moor. A central tower dominates, connected to 2 wings housing the prisoners. As many as 260 men and women can be held here at any one time, sentenced for crimes ranging from stealing sheep to murder. Discipline is swift and brutal. Food is scarce and medical care non-existent. Still, overcrowding reigns, and so too does despair. As the French Revolution rages across the Channel, King George institutes the death penalty for those found in possession of seditious or treasonous French material. Soon, Bodmin Gaol is taking its first taste of blood. Those accused need only be found guilty by a judge and jury of having read pamphlets such as Rights of Man by the revolutionary leader, Thomas Paine. They need not have even written or uttered a word against the crown, merely possessed them. Fearful of contagion, prisoners are held in solitary confinement, shackled to walls, forced to eat and sleep in their own waste. Those awaiting trial are kept in the dark and dank cells in the lowest depths of the jail. When they are led out to court, most are close to insanity. In 1827, John Westlake arrives in Bodmin. He has been convicted of poaching and sentenced to 14 years. Hard labor. Westlake will come to learn that a fellow inmate, Samuel Black, is serving a life sentence for killing 2 constables. Despite his crime, the 2 become friends. They share stories and plans, dreams of freedom. When Westlake is released 11 years later, he returns home to poverty and destitution. Samuel Black is left behind. Years later, Westlake hears news that Black has escaped. With renewed hope, Westlake campaigns to have his old friend pardoned. Eventually, King William IV agrees. However, when Samuel is freed, he is recaptured soon after and sent back to Bodmin. It is rumored he tries to escape once more and is shot dead by a guard. Over the next century, men like Samuel Black and John Westlake pass through Bodmin Gaol, serving sentences for a range of crimes. From 1844, one name haunts the prison records: Matthew Weeks. He is charged with murdering his lover, Charlotte Diamond. After being found guilty, he is sentenced to death. On October 24, 1844, he is led to the gallows. Weeks claims his innocence until the end, muttering that he was only trying to help Diamond. With that, the trap is sprung, and Weeks is hanged in front of a crowd of some 15,000 people. Just 3 years later, another name is added to the prison's infamous ledger: Selina Wadge. She has killed her own child. After a hasty trial, she is convicted and sentenced to death. On February 18, 1878, she is executed by hanging. No one knows why Wadge killed her child, nor how she had done it. Some say she threw her baby against the wall, while others claim she drowned the child in a tub. Over the years, Bodmin Gaol becomes notorious for its cruel conditions. Those awaiting trial are denied bail, forcing them to serve months or years in pretrial detention before seeing a judge. Many die simply from the poor conditions, their bodies carried out, stiff and lifeless, to be buried in unmarked graves in the nearby marsh. By the 20th century, Bodmin Gaol is filled to the brim with inmates. Its jailers struggle to feed and care for all within its walls. When it closes in 1927, it is not because it has served its purpose, but because it is little more than a crumbling ruin. And now the story turns from the living to the dead. For decades, visitors and locals alike have told tales of the prison, claiming it is haunted by those who suffered and died within its walls. Some believe the prison was built atop an ancient burial site, and the ghosts of those interred here refuse to let the living encroach on their slumber. Others say the very granite of the prison holds memories of the prisoners and guards, both good and bad, trapping them in this world. Whatever the truth, the spirits are numerous and varied. One of the most frequently cited is Matthew Weeks. Some say he is heard pacing the cell where he spent his final hours, calling out for his mother. Others claim to see him collapse in the center of the prison yard, recreating his last moments of life. Weeks is also said to appear outside the town of Bodmin, especially along the road leading from the prison to the old market house. There, he can be seen hitchhiking, only to vanish when anyone tries to approach him. It is also said Weeks sometimes breaks into homes in the area, shaking people awake in the middle of the night and whispering apologies for crimes he swears he did not commit. Then there is Selina Wadge. It is she who is said to reach out to mothers and children, peering in her white nightgown and holding a spectral babe in her arms. While some believe she is searching for her lost child, others think she is reaching out to try and warn parents away from the deadly sin of neglect. Most disturbing, however, are reports of Wadge interacting with children and expectant mothers. In the dead of night, she is said to glide silently through the streets of Bodmin, pausing outside houses where children sleep. Some claim her touch is freezing cold, and others swear they have felt her ghostly hand on their own belly, pressing where their unborn child lies. No one can say whether her touch brings blessing or curse, but many wonder if perhaps Wadge is trying to make amends for the terrible crime that brought her own child to a premature end. These are but two of the many ghosts said to haunt Bodmin Gaol. At least two others are said to linger within the ruined prison walls, forever bound to the place of their deaths. William and James Lightfoot are brothers who were tried for murder and found guilty. They are executed together and buried side by side in the prison yard. Some say their spirits remain, forever watching over each other, forever feeling the rough earth beneath their feet. Then there is Anne Jeffreys, a young woman who is accused of witchcraft. In the early 1800s, she is put into one of the prison's darkest cells, where she is denied food and water. Slowly, she wastes away, her body growing gaunt and shriveled. Her ghost is said to flicker at the very edge of sight, a reminder of the cruel past of this already haunting place. But Bodmin Gaol has yet one more ghost who refuses to move on. Some call him George, though no one knows his real name. Those who work at the jail or guide visitors around its halls claim to hear his heavy boots echoing on the stairs and the scrape of his keys as he walks the corridors. Some have even claimed to feel the chill of his unseen gaze upon their shoulders. There is much more to Bodmin Gaol than the spirits trapped within its walls. Many have reported strange activity, including dowsing rods spinning and rotating when there is no wind, and cameras picking up strange mists and figures. One couple staying in a room above the prison bar told how their chair moved across the room, gliding over the threshold and stopping in front of the bed. Then there are the stones themselves. Many visitors report small pebbles being thrown at them seemingly from nowhere. Some even report being brushed or nudged by an unseen hand, as though one of the spirits wishes to get their attention. Perhaps they want to tell their stories. Perhaps they want company. Perhaps they just want to remind us that they are here. Today, Bodmin Gaol stands open to the public, part museum, part tourist attraction, and part playground for thrill seekers. There are ghost hunts, night vigils, and tours that promise to bring history to life. But many wonder if there is something more to these excursions. Is Bodmin Gaol offering more than historical reenactments? Could what we see and feel be genuine interaction with the restless dead? Or is there some other explanation? We may never know the truth about the ghosts of Bodmin Gaol, but their stories live on in the crumbling walls and the weathered stones. Their whispers may be carried on the wind, but their presence remains, waiting to be felt by those who dare step foot inside. So if you visit Bodmin Gaol, be sure to listen closely. You might just hear more than the echoes of the past. You might hear the voices of those whose lives were cut short, whose stories were never finished, and whose souls still walk among us. Thank you all for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Until next time, remember, some places are best left undisturbed.